Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. So I thought I'd start this video off with Metroplex in a standard A stance over with his display stand next to him. So he is quite top heavy, but if you position his legs just right, he should stand up no problem. You're not going to get any dynamic poses out of his legs unless you figure out a way to use much stronger springs than I have in his legs. Now in his arms, I have 2mm steel springs in his shoulder ratchets, 1.5mm in his elbows, and that's enough to give for him to hold the pose with his arms however you want. I should have put 2mm in the elbows just to ensure that his arms don't droop with his guns, but it is what it is. I have 2mm springs in all of his leg ratchets. However, given all of that weight of his entire body on his legs, it's still not quite enough for him to hold any special kind of pose. I probably could get him into a few poses. I know I can get him into a kneeling pose, but any other dynamic pose with him standing up, I have a risk of him falling over. Right now, the best pose that I can get him in is if you take and you use the thigh rotation a little bit, turn the legs out a little bit, and a slight A stance like this, and he's fairly stable. Like, my kitchen floors are pretty wonky here in my old house, and I can bounce up and down and shake everything. You heard stuff rattling there, and he's still okay. So I just wanted to start the video going over his stability a little bit, because I think when I posted my previous video showcasing this display stand, I had a few smart asses commenting online about, well, can he stand on his own? Yes, he can. So what we can do here is we'll take a quick look around him while he's standing here in this pose. And I'll go over some of the features here in robot mode, show off some of the LEDs, especially the ones that impact him more in robot mode. So I already showed off this here, but there's a little chamber in here. You can add a sound chip in, and if you press this button, go online, buy a sound chip. I got this one I got like a pack of these off AliExpress. It only records one phrase. It has a little button, but they were like a $1 each. He's got, like the previous one, his sunglasses open up to reveal his face, and I've got his screaming face on, but this comes off, right? See, there's just I'll show off some other faceplates here. I've got 4 total. I only have 3 printed out, but and we've got this more serious face right here, and you see there's 2 peg ports in the back, and they just plug in. And I also have, actually, is this the smiling face? Yeah, this might be the smiling face. This one, yeah. So I also have a more G1 cartoon style plain face. I just never printed it off my resin printer. It's winter, and I don't use my resin printer in the winter, and these are printed out of resin. So I do have a more G1 style face that's available with the head sculpt set. And yeah, so those just pop into place, and they're interchangeable. And I believe I already went over the accessory pack here. We'll plug some of these items into him throughout this video, especially when city mode. And I got some of the companion bots back out here, the old companion bots I printed off. Except this guy can't find his other arm, but we'll still plug him in. And I just want to show off something else that I was doing at one time. So I was actually working on a much smaller version of him. This was going to be, I think this version was going to be 18 inches. And I stopped because a third-party company already came out with an 18-inch version at the time I was working on this, so I figured that was quite pointless. Waste of my time. Okay, big guy. see what you weigh. So he weighs 40.4 pounds. Now, you see I pick him up, I set him down on the scales, I let go. And he's standing perfectly fine in the same stance. He didn't fall over. He is relatively stable for his size and weight. But I am going to put him in the display, on the display stand, for the remainder of this video, excluding alt modes, just so I can manipulate him and move him around. Now I do have the hip locks in place, so his hips can't rotate right now. There are hip locks there, and they serve two functions. One, that you can lock the hip joints so they can't rotate forward and back, and two, they're also meant to lock his hips in the position for his alt mode, specifically both of his alt modes. City mode, there's two locking positions, one locking mode for city, one locking mode for battle station. We have locking pins for the arms as well that serve the same function for alt modes. Okay, so let me get him on his display stand. One thing I'll show you guys is there's pegs in the back and an insert and a peg in the front that his feet hook into. And then we just have this molded spot here for his crotch. It's exercise with him, picking him up. Come on. Get out. These hip ratchets you're hearing. Come here. Up and over. That's that foot. Let's get this one. Come on. That's that foot. So there, he's locked into place. I've added a ton of LEDs in this version of Metroplex. His fingers, his 4 fingers, all light up. Come on. Every time I light one up, I turn another one off. So, display them out like that, just to show you guys. So all of his fingers, excluding his thumbs, they light up. His Autobot symbol lights up, and all of these like little turbines, they all light up, and even the ones in his arms, they light up, and these windows, they light up as well. You can see that one. So I don't know how well that's coming across on camera. I'm gonna turn some lights off here just to give you guys that visual. There's a lot of other LEDs in him. This one comes on, but I'll wait till I have him in city mode for those, because the majority of the rest of them have to do with compartments and windows in the buildings, like in his forearms and the buildings here. All of that lights up as well, and there's lots of light up features inside of each side of his chest, and more light up features in his legs. And I think I already showed this off, but this lights up down here too. I have 60 plus LEDs in him. So I just want to give you guys a minute to take a look. Oh, I almost forgot. These guns up here light up. And I don't know why, but I put 2 different LEDs in those. I'm going to have to fix that. That's my bad. I've got a red one over there and a yellow one over there. So let's go take a look. Yeah, I mixed up these. They should be they should be the same, but for some reason I have a red in one and a yellow in the other. He doesn't have light up eyes. There's just not enough room in here with the swappable faceplate for him to have light up eyes. And again, there are a lot more LEDs. Oh, I have other LEDs here that I could be lighting up for you guys. Right there. And right there. Those are bright. So let's get to transforming him. It's gonna be quite the exercise. Now, what I'm going to do is I am going to put him in the display base so I can manipulate him and move him around without actually putting a crazy amount of physical effort into this. But what I'm going to do is, what I'd like to do first before I do that is I'm going to go get a set of scales and I'm going to weigh him. Okay, some scales. Okay, big guy. Let's see what you weigh. So he weighs 40.4 pounds. Now, you see I pick him up, I set him down on the scales, I let go. And he's standing perfectly fine in the same stance. He didn't fall over. He is relatively stable for his size and weight. But I am going to put him in the display, on the display stand, for the remainder of this video, excluding, alt modes, just so I can manipulate him and move him around. Now I do have the hip locks in place, so his hips can't rotate right now. There are hip locks there, and they serve 2 functions. One, that you can lock the hip joints so they can't rotate forward and back. And 2, they're also meant to lock his hips in the position for his alt mode. Specifically, both of his alt modes. City mode, there's 2 locking positions. One locking mode for city, one locking mode for battle station. We have locking pins for the arms as well that serve the same function for alt modes. Okay, so let me get him on his display stand. One thing I'll show you guys is there's pegs in the back and an insert and a peg in the front that his feet hook into. And then we just have this molded spot here for his crotch. It's exercise with him, picking him up. Come on. Yeah, there we go. Okay, and I recommend locking his feet in, but once his crotch is inserted into the display base, he won't fall over unless you bump into him or something catastrophic happens. But I'm going to get his feet locked in here so he's standing perfectly straight. His hip ratchet you're hearing. Come here. Up and over. That's that foot. Let's get this one. Come on. That's that foot. So there, he's locked into place. See? He's locked into place. Okay. That'll just make him a little easier for me to manipulate and show off some features here in this video. So, let me move him in the view. Grab a magnet here. So, I've added a ton of LEDs in this version of Metroplex. His fingers, his 4 fingers, all light up. Come on. Every time I light one up, I turn another one off. So, display them out like that, just to show you guys. And so, all of his fingers, excluding his thumbs, they light up. His Autobot symbol lights up, and all of these like little turbines, they all light up, and even the ones in his arms, they light up, and these windows, they light up as well. You can see that one. I don't know how well that's coming across on camera. I'm going to turn some lights off here just to give you guys that visual. Don't mind me walking out in front of them here over and over again. Turn this one on. Did I turn that one on? There we go. There's a lot of other LEDs in him. This one comes on. But I'll wait till I have him in city mode for those, because the majority of the rest of them have to do with compartments and windows in the buildings, like in his forearms and the buildings here. All of that lights up as well, and there's lots of light up features inside of each side of his chest, and more light up features in his legs. And I think I already showed this off, but this lights up down here too. I have 60 plus LEDs in him total. So I just want to give you guys a minute to take a look. Oh, I almost forgot. These guns up here light up. And I don't know why, but I put 2 different LEDs in those. I'm going to have to fix that. That's my bad. But I've got a red one over there and a yellow one over there. So let's go take a look. Yeah, I mixed up these. They should be they should be the same. But for some reason I have a red one and a yellow one in the other. He doesn't have light up eyes. There's just not enough room in here with the swappable faceplate for him to have light up eyes. And again, there are a lot more LEDs. Oh, I have other LEDs here that I could be lighting up for you guys. right there, and right there. Those are bright. Yeah, so he has a whack of LEDs in him. And there's even more to turn on in his alt modes. So let's get to transforming him. It's gonna be quite the exercise. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. So I thought I'd start this video off with Metroplex in a standard A stance over with his display stand next to him. So he is quite top heavy, but if you position his legs just right, he should stand up no problem. You're not going to get any dynamic poses out of his legs unless you figure out a way to use much stronger springs than I have in his legs. Now in his arms, I have 2mm steel springs in his shoulder ratchets, 1.5 millimeters in his elbows, and that's enough to give for him to hold the pose with his arms however you want. I should have put 2mm in the elbows just to ensure that his arms don't droop with his guns, but it is what it is. I have 2mm springs in all of his leg ratchets. However, given all of that weight of his entire body on his legs, it's still not quite enough for him to hold any special kind of pose. I probably could get him into a few poses. I know I can get him into a kneeling pose, but any other dynamic pose with him standing up, I have a risk of him falling over. Right now, the best pose that I can get him in is if you take and you use the thigh rotation a little bit, turn the legs out a little bit, and a slight A stance like this, and he's fairly stable. Like my kitchen floors are pretty wonky here in my old house, so and I can bounce up and down and shake everything. You heard stuff rattling there, and he's still okay. So I just wanted to start the video going over his stability a little bit, because I think when I posted my previous video showcasing this display stand, I had a few smart asses commenting online about, well, can he stand on his own? Yes, he can. So I'm going to now holster the camera in the tripod. So what we can do here is we'll take a quick look around him while he's standing here in this pose, and I'll go over some of the features here in robot mode. I'll holster the camera and I'll show off some of the LEDs, especially the ones that impact him more in robot mode. So I already showed off this here, but there's a little chamber in here. You can add a sound chip in, and if you press this button, you know, go online, buy a sound chip. I got this one I got like a pack of these off AliExpress. It only records one phrase. It has a little button, but they were like a $1 each. So yeah, he's got, like the previous one, his sunglasses open up to reveal his face, and I've got his screaming face on, but this comes off, right? See, there's just I'll show off some other faceplates here. I've got 4 total. I only have 3 printed out, but so we've got this stoic face, and we've got this more serious face right here. And you see there's 2 peg ports in the back, and they just plug in. And I also have, actually, is this the smiling face? Yeah, this might be the smiling face, this one. Yeah. So I also have a more G1 cartoon style plain face. I just never printed it off my resin printer. It's winter, and I don't use my resin printer in the winter, and these are printed out of resin. So I do have a more G1 style face that's available with the head sculpt set. And yeah, so those just pop into place, and they're interchangeable. And I believe I already went over the accessory pack here. We'll plug some of these items into him throughout this video, especially when city mode. And I got some of the companion bots back out here, the old companion bots I printed off. Except this guy can't find his other arm, but you know, we'll still plug him in. And I just want to show off something else that I was doing at one time. So I was actually working on a much smaller version of him. This was going to be, I think this version was going to be 18 inches. And I stopped because a third-party company already came out with an 18-inch version at the time I was working on this, so I figured that was quite pointless. Waste of my time. But anyways, let's go around him. We'll take a look at the back. See how clean he looks. And the transformation is, it's not complicated, but there are quite a few steps to go from robot mode into city mode and battle station mode. Let's fix your head there. So yeah, let me get the camera on the tripod mount so I can go get a magnet and we can go over some of the LEDs that are in this figure. Before I transform him, I thought I'd go over his array of weapons here. So I have this thing. It's kind of simulates the third-party gun that you could buy. So this big gun, it transforms into this ship right here. As you can see, there's landing gear underneath that all folds away, and there's a handle that folds out. And this barrel extends, comes way out to here, and these collapse. If I can get them in there. This is sat on the shelf for quite a while. There we go. And there's no light up features in this. This came with the original revision 1.0, or I didn't think to put LEDs in them. So, and then the barrel extends and the handle pops out there and it turns into a gun. And there's this new gun I added. It's basically six guns leg, but big enough so he can hold it. And the handle flips back so you can peg it into him, or you flip it out like that so he can hold it. And then there's an LED in this, and this is the old version of his gun, the old 1.0. This is the new version of his gun, and this one here, the old one was all glued together, so you couldn't really perform any maintenance on it. The new one, everything screws together on the new one, and the new one incorporates an LED in the barrel. Yeah, so the old one and the new one, they both fit on him. It's just the new one is a little bit more refined and has an LED feature. Okay. Oh, another thing I'd like to mention with the guns, I just keep forgetting because to me it's obvious, but on the back of these guns there's this flip out peg, very large peg, and they only flip into one place, and that's these huge ports on the side of his upper arms. So you can have these guns. You saw that when I first started in my previous video. They were plugged into his arms. One was here and one was on the other side. But yeah, they can plug in. That's where they plug in if you don't want them holding them. I like the look of them there more so than anywhere else. And this big gun here, like I said, has got this 5mm peg or the handle. And again, these here have a handle that flips out right there and snaps into place like that. So with the 5mm peg, if you want, what I like to do is there's peg ports all over them. There's one here and one here, so you can have it on either shoulder or either, yeah, on either side of him. That's like a huge blaster cannon, something like that. I like the look of that too. But yeah, you have options there with how you display his guns on him. So I'm going to open this leg up first, and I'm going to do this arm. So I have that leg turned at the thigh, but what I'm going to do before I turn this leg at the thigh is I'm going to open up his back and his front, and that'll disengage this connection here. And I can take this all the way around past his foot. Then I can rotate the foot on up there. I can take this out. Then I can rotate this at the thigh, and then I can bring this forward like this. Just like that. And then I can take this kneecap out. So I can open these guns up. And we've got a helicopter pad here. We've got a bay here that comes out right here. And inside we have another little compartment that comes out. There's a peg here. I know it's hard to see back there, but there's a peg here and a peg port there that will clip into. Then that will unfold, leading to a comm station with 2 chairs. Dr. Wu figures can fit there. And then there's a ramp here that will unfold like that. On the outside of the leg here, there's another bay that opens up with a ramp. So you got this pass-through area here. There's another panel that opens up here, and drop down, and then a ramp there. So like that. There's 2 legs that come out here, like that. So that stands there, like that. So you got this bay under here. There are guns in here that come out and can extend, or you could leave them inside and they rotate like that. And when we're done here with the transformation, I'll do a close-up of everything, and I'll explain what I did as I do a walkthrough. But we're not done with this leg yet. This thigh here has a bay that opens up right there, and there's a fold out double ramp that comes down like this, and it will meet another one in the middle there from the other side. And you can rotate this however you want here. Like that. It doesn't have to be straight out. But yeah, so let's do this arm next. There's a clip here that opens, and there's the same in the back. And this tab and a port inside the arm. When we open it up, that'll allow the arm to collapse. And then these will clip back in place. Come on. There's a sweet spot there I gotta get. There we go. And then the back one as well. And the forearm, before you flip it up, open up the side panels on the forearm. There's an LED right there that will light up the inside of the forearm as well. And there's some details here that are for battle station mode. But fold up his hand, ball this into a balled fist. Rotate this around to reveal this building. Before you rotate it up, make sure these are fully extended. There's little tabs there that go into slots like that. That will ensure that they don't just fall back down. And then we can, not close this up yet, sorry. We rotate his arm around like that, and then we can collapse this. And there are tabs and slots that you can line up right there. And then there is a locking point for this to prevent the arm from moving. There's this locking tab, this slide out locking tab that will go into a slot on the back of his right torso. This here can be collapsed up. It goes up inside, but there's no locking point up in there. It'll just hang right there like that. So that's that arm. Transformed into a building. No visible hand, no nothing like that. Nice big tall building. Before I go on to the other side, let's do his right chest. So we have this massive ramp that comes out. This untabs here. My tabs are tight. So one thing I'd like to mention before I go any further, if you're building this, if you bought the file set and you're building this guy, my tolerances on everything are 0.25 to 0.3 millimeters. Now, that's a good thing and a bad thing. If you're using a bed slinger or any type of printer that especially doesn't have input shaping, that's a good thing. It allows you, you'll have a decent fit. But if you're using, say, a Core XY printer that has input shaping, it could be a bad thing because you might find your tabs slot connections are too loose. So a lot of my parts on this guy are printed on my new K2 Plus, which is a Core XY printer, fully enclosed, and has input shaping. And I found a lot of my tab slots were loose versus my bed slinger, like my Neptune 3 Max and my CR10. And a couple of these parts were printed on those as well. So what I have to do there is I printed off a sheet of little shims, like 300.3 millimeter, 0.4 millimeter thick sheet, and I would cut strips and I would glue them to the tabs to bulk them up. And I would just need one strip and it would be enough to compensate for how accurate a Core XY with input shaping is. Otherwise, if I made everything with no tolerance, and you printed this on any old printer, you would be filing down your tabs. And that's another thing too. If you find you're on a bed slinger and your accuracy is not 100% perfect, you might have tabs slot connections that are a little too snug. It might require you to file down your tabs a little bit. And that's the nature of 3D printing. I can't make this to fit every printer out there. It's gonna be, I have to find a sweet spot in the middle and just work my way out from there. So anyways, let's slide this out. And this unfolds like that and drops down like that. And it's nice and flat, it's long enough, it sits on the table, and you get this nice long ramp. And you notice inside here there's a building that comes out the back. There are two tabs and there's a slots in the building that will connect. Before I do that, I gotta extend the building and lock it into place. There we go. And then we can come up with that and connect it to those two tabs, this building here. And then there's some little guns inside that we can flip out. I'm gonna need a spudger or something. Give me a second. Just don't have any fingernails to get these out. So these guns, they rotate. And once you get them out so far, I gotta get around here. Once you get them out so far, they won't go any further because you have to extend the barrels. These barrels come out, and once you extend them, you should be able to rotate the gun out further. Get these barrels all the way out, right like that. Extend the gun once I get the barrel out a little bit. There we go. Come on. There. So these barrels do extend quite a bit there. Whoops. Lock into place. Okay. So we've got that building there that comes out from behind, and there's a panel inside that opens up and seals up the back inside. There's another building here. How can I get here with blocking your view? Right here, that comes up again, I have no fingernails. Comes up, extends, just like that. Little building there. We can flip this around, and there's a building on the other side, or we can leave it like that. So push it down, or actually push it back up, flip it around, push it down a little bit. So there's some, so to clear the side. Should have left it. Come on. Down. There you go. Turn it around and push it back up that way, and then you have a building there. If you want to get rid of those guns. Okay? So let's go now. We'll do this other leg. Whew. This also flips around into a building as well here, but this is going to be over here under here. So it's your choice if you want to turn it into a building or leave the guns sitting out. Anyways, we're going to go do this side now. We'll do the leg first, and then we'll do the arm. So, and we can move all this too to get stuff out of the way. So, I don't have an edge of the table here to help me with clearance. Yeah, come on. Okay. Slide, so this detail slides up. Unhook this from the two tabs. There's tabs and slots. That'll go around the foot. The foot on its really beefy ratchet will come up. Over. This will slide around. And then, yeah, come on. I'm gonna tip you over. Okay. Then we can break this here. This stuff out of the way. He takes up a lot of space in his city mode, like a lot of space. But yeah, there's tab slots and tab slots in the back, and then tab slots here. Oh, I gotta bring out this ramp. Give me a second. Where is it? Tapped into place. There we go. So I have no space, even on a big 7-foot table. Okay, it beats the first video though. When I did this, my very first video on revision 1, it was a tiny round table. Okay, so that's that. Now I'll come back around. So I'm going to ball up this fist. Turn him over here a little bit. Ball up this fist. Open up. Open up. And then open up. Get that building rotated out. Gonna have to keep the arm down so the building doesn't slide out inside and gets in the way of my clearance. Rotate that. Make sure that fist is not in the way of anything. This building unclips too for battle station mode. It serves a different purpose in battle station mode. So now I can collapse the forearm. Fist is in the way. Gotta make sure the fist is in a certain position. It tucks up inside a black shroud inside. There is a little clip. Let me. Okay. This clip out. Get this clip out. This should sink in. Put those two clips back and get this guy like that. Now, there's a little clip right here. You have to undo it so that we can disengage the tab slot connection right here, like that. And then we need to bend the arm forward over a little bit like that to clear the shoulder. Actually, hold on a second. Put the arm there like that. We need to come way up like that so we can clear the shoulder connection. Then we can come back down, and then we take the arm like this, turn it around, and then it's going to go around the other way. This is not the correct way, because what we're going to do here, leave that, is there is a clip. There's two clips. There's one in the back, and there is another one right here. We undo those and we can disengage the tab slot connection that holds these two sections together. So, see, there's a little clip right there. It tabs in up top and it just folds down and tucks inside the bottom. So that's going to allow us, now that this panel is out, for this to untab and flip around. Before I do that, I gotta, which would be the easiest? This would be the easiest. Go like that, and then get this out of the way. Okay, now as I'm turning this around, how can I explain this? Okay, open this up. It has to be almost all the way. Get this out of the way, and then this folds down. These two slots, or these two tabs right here, there are slots in the back of this that they will tab into, like that. Okay. There's a little bit of a drawer, but it's still, we got there in the end. Yeah, so that's that building. Again, like the other one, it transforms clean. It looks like a building. And there's some more transformation in the back. I'm going to do that. I'll explain what I'm doing, but you're not going to be able to see it until I come around back with the camera and look at the back. But I'm going to need my knife. There is a bay inside of here that slides out from the back. A little bay that you can put figures on. There's a little staircase back there, and this guy's parts, you take him apart, and my original video I showcased him, but he's all articulated, even his arm, his gun arm. But you take him apart, this chest comes off. If I can get it off. He's been sitting a long time. But he does come apart, and then his head rotates around like that, and then this can, this with these guns can go like that, or you could put them like that, and you can put this like this, and this plugs in back here like that, or you could take the guns, leave them in the back, plug this in here into the tab like that, and plug that in there like that, or leave it off altogether. Transformation here and here. There's a building in here that I gotta, there is a building in here. We're gonna come in here for a minute. That I gotta raise up. Okay? I have to raise this building up a little bit so that I can clear this. Okay? And this can flip over to reveal a missile bay that you can pull open, or you can pull up like that, or you can turn it around for the building. Anyways, and then this here also opens. And this just, come on, slides open like that. Stay up. There we go. Okay, now we're gonna aim down here. So we got this compartment that opens. Come on. This slides open like that. And we have a double ramp here, like the other side, that will actually meet it in your spot. The other side in the middle, like that. And we have this bay here opens. This ramp slides out. And then we got this on a rotating hinge. That tab slot right there, or a peg and a port right there. And this opens up. Now, get in there. Okay, so that's that. And then on the outside, we have another door that opens up. Come on. Like that. So you can pass right through to the inside. And we have another bay here that opens up. And this comes down, and this little ramp comes out, and we have these guns that can rotate and extend like that. They come out on a little slider. Like that, and they rotate. So that's that. Now I still have to pop this knee out, pop these legs out. Yeah, see what I'm doing? This knee right here and these legs, and then set that down like that. Whew. Okay, now his head, you just lift, make sure you guys can see this, what I'm doing here. It's a lot. It's not complicated, but there are a lot of steps. Right, because my goal here was to make him into a really true city mode transformer. Okay, so his head, just disengage here. This slides back all the way, and then his head just folds into his body, and then you can extend these guns right there. Okay, let me just make sure. Let's go back here so you guys can see. He's massive too. So his city mode is massive. You can see these huge buildings that we've got going on here. And how big, how much his legs open up. All those different compartments. So there's a ton of light features now we have access to that we didn't have before. All the buildings light up. Under here lights up. Inside this bay lights up. Inside these bays light up. These buildings all light up. So I'm going to go through all that process now and light up all that stuff to show you guys. And then what we'll do is we'll do a walk around the base. And then maybe I'll take some of the accessory kit over there and plug in some of that stuff into the base mode. But yeah, this is his city mode, all transformed. There's a lot to it. There's a lot of stuff that comes out from inside of him, and as you can see, for what he is, Metroplex, his robot kibble, except for the back of his head, and his feet are hidden. His feet, though, turn into helicopter pads, and there's no visible arm kibble. So let me turn on all these LEDs. There's quite a few of them. So there's an LED on in here now, plus this one. I did not put the one in there that should be in there. That's my bad. There's LED in here. LED in here. Yeah, turn that one turned on. Let me see if I turn this one on. Oh, I didn't install the one in there either, but there is one that's supposed to be there. I assure you. There's an LED there. There's an LED. I can't tell if I turned it on. LEDs in there. Did I turn that on? Can't tell. Give me a second. Yeah, I forgot to install that one too. Well, that's my bad. So 3 LEDs I did not install yet, but there's an LED in here. There's an LED in here. There is an LED in here. There's an LED in here. There is LED in there. There's LEDs in here. There's LEDs in there. And LEDs in there. Oh, and there's LEDs in these buildings here. And there's LEDs in these bays here. Oh, and there's LEDs in this, but there's an LED in there. I probably missed some. I've got so many LEDs in him. Oh, I forgot to extend these guns here, but these guns here, they extend. So what I'll do is see how this looks. I'm going to take the camera off the tripod and I'm going to turn the lights down and we'll take a look at these LEDs. It's really bright in here right now, so do that. And then we'll turn the lights back on and we'll have a better look at everything. Yeah, you've got a light in here. This bay is lit up. That bay is lit up. Your buildings are all lit up, including the buildings under there. These bays are lit up. That bay is nicely lit up. Building there is lit up. Building there is lit up. And I forgot to put an LED in this building, but there is a spot for it. And I forgot to put the LED that's inside under there. And there's supposed to be an LED in there. I forgot. But there it does take an LED. But yeah, that's him all lit up in his city mode. Oh, yeah, and there's LEDs around back I could light up, but we'll not get into that right now. So let me turn the light back on and we'll go over all the details. We'll start at the leg here, right leg. So we've got this bay area here. You can put some of your figures in, your Dr. Wu figures. And LED feature there. You got some gun turrets here that can go up and down, and they rotate as well in both those directions. You've got a helicopter landing pad right here. You've got a control panel and a platform here, a little space inside there, as well as these guns. You've got this area straight through with 2 control panels right in there as well. We've got this little comm station here with 2 seats, and they rotate around. And that's like that with a little bay. And you've got another bay in there. And if you look, there's some details with the LED. There's a little comm station with the LED right there. And there's details in there. And I used my K2 to do some multicolor printing with these things. Adding the yellow and the black. You got your ramp there and there. But we've got these guns, these missile bay here. That missile bay there. Another helicopter pad. That's the pull-out bay in the back I mentioned, with some ports and the connector port for that figure that you pull apart. And another helicopter landing strip there. A little room in there. Huge compartment here. Massive compartment there with 2 lights. You get your huge ramp that sits flush right on the table with this huge ramp. You have your buildings with all their molded in detail. Oh, and these light up too. I never showed that off, but there's LEDs inside of these. Same ones that are in the fingers. Both of these tips light up. I'll show those off later. There's more LEDs I didn't light up that are for battle station mode. So again, this is your locking pin to lock this arm into position there. You got that closed off spot. You got this building in the rear. In the rear details. Oh, I completely forgot a building. My apologies, he's not finished. This, it's on a hinge. It comes up like that. You see the Autobot logo there. Then the sides come out. These sides come out. I can get this out. Come on. It can be finicky, but it does come out. There we go. There's that side. And it locks into place once you get the little guns inside out. Because once you get the side out, there's a gun turn that comes up, and these go like that. Now get the other side out. Come on. Ain't gonna come out on an angle. I should have took this out before I did this building. Now I have a hard time getting at the bottom of it. There we go. Oh, and his chests, his left and right checks, they slide. So you can slide them forward for city mode. Flip this back up here again. Get on your clips. There you go. Put that one back on. There we go. Get that gun out. Lock that into place. Turn it. And tab you back on. And let's get this little building back out that I knocked down. It has a soft click point right there. And let's get you back up. There we go. Now I think I finished this transformation. I could be wrong. So yeah, I forgot to pull out that building there in the back. So let's take a look back. Like, this thing's huge, and it goes great with my Doctor Wu figures. I'll put a bunch of them on a little later here. I probably should turn off all these LEDs before I kill the batteries in them. Okay, so I have it all decked out now. I have the accessories kit installed. Slammer from my original, I have him installed. And I have a bunch of Autobots. So let's go and take a little tour with everything installed. So we've got Bumblebee here. at a station. We've got one of our pods, and I've showcased these before. The canopy opens, they light up inside, so you can fit a figure in there, Dr. Wu figure. We've got some spotlights installed from the accessory kit. We've got they have LEDs. We've got a turret, missile turret launcher, whatever installed there, and it has LEDs. Ultra Magnus. We got C Spray, Mega Supreme. Got Optimus inside. We've got big cannon from Slammer. We've got a comm satellite installed all the way up. And then if you remember in the cartoon in Autobot City, there's a great big spire in the back, so that's installed right there. Wheel jack and Perceptor. We've got a communications tower, aircraft communications tower installed there. The helicopter pad. We've got a couple of turrets installed here, as well as over there on the helicopter pad. And these rotate and they go up and down. Get another shuttle. More spotlights here. We've got a blaster manning a station. More spotlights here. Yeah. Gun out. Yeah, so you can really deck this thing out. The accessories kit, if you download that, you can print and come up with. You can make as many of these as you like. Make as many spotlights, turrets, and there's tons of 5mm ports on him. On his torso everywhere that you could plug in stuff. I could make another dozen of these things and plug them in, just load him up, and then we could take a Mega Supreme, turn him, transform him into base mode. He would fit right there perfectly. So that is an amazing display right there. If I had the room, I'd print and build another one and have them like this with all my little figures, but I don't have the room. Like I said, this is a 7-foot table, and he's taken up 5 feet of it almost when he's in city mode like this. Okay, so I've partially transformed Metroplex back towards his robot mode. I did that off camera as there's no need to redo it. But you bring him back so far, and then we can go from this state into a battle station mode. So what we want to do for battle station mode is we want to transform the legs a little bit and have them out in front of him. There's also a transformation in the crotch that I have to do, and the thighs. So what we're going to do is, I think I'm going to untransform this arm over here from the back where it's at, because it'll be in the way. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring this up, and as we bring it up, we'll bring the arm over, and then what we'll do is we want to bring that shoulder out so we can close this off and reconnect here, and then engage the clip. Now we want this arm out like that and down like that, and there's going to be locking points to lock the arm straight. Oh, but before I do that, I gotta engage the clips that lock the two halves of this torso together, so I don't accidentally. There we go. So there is this sliding clip here that I the black tab that I showed off earlier, you get the arm into this position, and there is a locking point for it right there. This building comes forward and tabs right there. So it turns into like a set of guns. I'm going to turn it around so I can show you guys what I'm doing. Now, this panel here opens. There's some tabs that come out. They're going to go into these slots right here. That'll help keep the arm straight. The locking tab in the front is not enough, given the weight of the arm. So this will come out. It'll also reveal some detail, some thrusters, and some LEDs. So we already see we've got these four thrusters here revealed, and they all light up. But there's going to be more in here. So if this comes forward, you line these tabs up. It'll be like that. So, right like that. And again, these tabs here, I'm going to have to beef them up because they printed on my K2 Plus, and I can unhook the locking pin there. Rotate this arm here, re-engage the locking pin there, and then I can take this panel here, and there is slots that connect the tabs on his back of his torso here. We just engage those, and then we disengage this, and we extend that, connect it up there, and then we'll give you a view of what the battle station mode looks like from the back. So we repurposed these buildings. We've now got dual guns. You can extend these fully. But if you see in the back, we've got all these thrusters. Well, maybe those don't light up. So 8 of them light up. And then this one. So we've got all those thrusters. So we come in here close. Look at that detail. No, I didn't have any of these features on the original, nor any of those details, and nor the locking setup that we have here. So this is greatly improved over the original. So that's the upper body transformed, and it looks like a huge, massive gun turret that can rotate around. Just like that. So yeah. Okay, now to do the legs, this is going to be tricky. I probably shouldn't have done that first. I probably should have just transformed him with his arms up and laid him down to do the legs. But the legs are going to be tricky, but we'll do our best. So the feet turn into the large landing strips. This comes out, this folds out, and then this extends. Like that. And the other side is the same. On hooks, extends. These ramps are going to fold back away, and there's wheels that are going to come out. There's 4 wheels here, 2 wheels there, 4 wheels in the center, and same with this side. So first things first, I'm going to get the wheels out over here so that he doesn't flip backwards. So this reconnects here. We've got 2 clips here that are going to lock both legs together. These are supposed to lock together, but my tabs, I didn't squeeze hard enough, I don't think. No, they're not. I didn't squeeze. I'm on enough break. Got to unlock this. And we've got to rotate this entire thing, and it's on a strong ratchet. So what we'll do is I'm going to lay him down over the edge of the table so that that stuff is not in the way. And what I want to do is I'm going to bring his leg, and I'm going to, come here, oh, come on, hold on. There's stuff in my way. Okay. It's very unwieldy. And I did it kind of backwards. Okay, I want to do that. Right there. And like that. And I want to do the same with the other leg. So I'm going to bring this leg in. Come on. This is, I'm doing this half-ass backwards. I should have done this before the top. Okay. What we'll do is, we're going to do this. Come on. Oh, they're strong ratchets. Okay. Get to that in a minute. Okay, so, frig, these gotta come together, and then there's clips in here that will come out, and they will hook from one leg to the other, and they snap together and they keep the legs together. We're gonna put him like this. Whew. Okay. What are you doing? So, underneath the front, there's these wheels that clip into place. And then this these ramps. This is a two-man job. That's what this is. Get it. Now, that should have stayed in place. I just didn't, I forgot to lock the hips there. But that's fine. Okay. There's locking points for these hips right there. That once you do them, he won't rotate back. There. Now, there's wheels in here, wheels in here, wheels in here. Once I get them out, this should all, then these spin. Whew! This is a lot of exercise getting them into this mode. Fix that. Oh, and these go up and these go under. Up and under. Bring that right back out. There, like that. Okay. The ones in the back, I need something to lift this, to elevate this. Okay. It's a lot of weight that I gotta pick up here. These ones in the back, they slide out and they flip around and they slide back. And then close that right in. So there's the wheels in the back. Now here we have these bays that open underneath. There's a bay opens underneath here. And once you get that bay open, you can slide the wheels out. Once you get that other door on that side open, and I didn't install those wheels. Great. I'm pretty sure I installed the wheels on this leg over here. Okay. Pop that bay. Open these wheels. I'm out. There they are. Yeah. Whew. Take it. Everything's falling apart on me as I'm trying to move this around. Okay, clip that, clip that. We're getting there. We're getting there. What did I do there? Okay. I'm gonna grab those wheels and install them right now. The other wheels are out on the other side. These wheels are out here. It rolls. Okay, so wheels, bearings, screws. Can't believe, oh, and hubcap. So we put the screw or drop it on the floor, one or the other. We put the screw through the hubcap into the wheel bearing, which is on the wheel. These wheels collapse. There we go. Okay. There. The legs are locked together. Let's extend these guns. And thighs are locked in place. And again, you could rotate this like it's a huge turret. And there is a bay in the back. There's a little bay in the back. These are 100% in place. One second. There we go. There's a little bay in the back. You can put figures. And again, you could open this up, put the ramp out here if you want. So we can rotate this around. Am I hitting? Oh, I'm hitting a locking pin there. I don't want to disengage these locking pins either. They keep this from falling, tilting back. And, like I said, it rolls. And it's really, really long in battle station mode, but I think the battle station mode turned out really good as well. My main focus was the city mode, but again, this leg is grouping on me. It might be the way I position my ratchet inside, but this one is solid. Let me take this off the tripod and we'll go over this. So we've got the wheels here that come out of the crotch assembly, and there's a little bay in there. And it lights up as well. There's an LED in there. Let me tab that and turn that on so you can see that there's an LED in there. I turn it off. And it will scroll up. So we got all these big thrusters on the back. We've got these. Those light up, and these light up. Again, I don't know why I have that red one in there. Wasn't paying attention, I guess. This is not fully extended. And he's got these long ramps. So again, there's our battle station mode. for my Big City Robot. So he has all 3 modes, and they all look really nice. At least to me they do. And he rolls, and the top spins like a big, massive gun bay of destruction. So it's a day later, but I forgot when I was doing this video last night to accessorize the battle station mode to show off for you guys what it would look like with a lot of stuff on it. And I also forgot to mention too, if you want some extra support on these ramps, we can lift these guns up underneath to help with extra support there. So here I have the battle station mode, somewhat accessorized with some of the accessory pack as well as some figures sprinkled throughout. We've got Bumblebee in one of the shuttlecraft, the other shuttlecraft over there, Wheeljack, get some of the turrets installed. There's the Ultra Magnus and Blaster. We've got the big guns installed on him. Perceptor there. Prime. These rotate and they also extend. I can't do that with one hand, but these do come out and they do extend out to here. Get there. We've got a set of rocket launchers installed there. Satellite dish there. And we've got a set of guns, turrets right there. And what you want to do with your hands, you want to get them set up like that, so the back side is like this, so you don't see your fingers or anything like that. And I didn't do that on this side. That's why I was having trouble during the transformation, getting the panels close, because I have that hand flipped the wrong way. But you do want them flipped like this, right there. So yeah, we got our thrusters. And again, this whole upper section here rotates on the waist rotation ratchet. Perceptor keeps falling, and he does roll. Pretty smoothly on his wheels. And Perceptor fell again. Stay there. But yeah, well, I've got a gun here that's but you can deck out the battle station mode somewhat, not as much as the city mode, but you can still deck it out in various weapons and whatnot from your accessory pack and have him armed to the teeth. Well, that is my revision 2.0 of Big City Robot, the accessory pack, the separate accessory pack, the separate stand, the separate companion figures. That was all 3 modes: robot mode, city mode, and battle station mode, LEDs. I showed him standing on his own without the display base, as well as picking him up and dropping him on a set of scales without the display base. These files are available up on CG Trader now for purchase, so if you have access to a 3D printer and you have some skill at assembly, and I recommend you have some skill at assembly before you attempt this, because this is a big project. But he's 40 inches tall to the top of his head, and he's 42 inches tall to the top of his guns on his head. I've never measured him to the top of these guns. I don't count that. I think that's cheating. But here he is, and everything works like it should. And it's a huge play set and a huge play value, and he goes perfect with Dr. Wu figures and that Legend Scale Omega Supremes. So that's it for now, guys. Thanks for watching. If I missed something, I apologize, but there is a lot to go over with this guy. A lot. Take care.